but Nintendo are the only company that knows what the hell they're doing. You said I could swear. They're the only company that knows what the fuck they're doing. Like the amount of, like the Xbox stuff is just a car crash in slow motion. With every time you think that it's like one of those things where you see like a pile up on like a highway, and then like they go to move the camera away, and another car comes flying down the road and smashes into it, and it's let's just keep watching it. It's still on fire. It's still going. It's still an inferno. And then on the Sony side, it's like, hey, we need to do all these live service projects, and we need to make sure we got multiplayer going. And you do. That is a nice way to make money alongside your single player premium stuff. But things like Concord ain't it. Something that would have been it might have been The Last of Us. But the whole Jim Ryan era, like obviously he's ex, I forget what his title was now, but he's ex-leader of Sony. That Jim Ryan era was like the weirdest pivot where they wanted to do PlayStation Studios and they greenlit all the TV shows and the movies, and then they greenlit like 12 live service projects and none of them made it. Like there's only like Helldivers 2 is one of the only ones that came out positively. Everything else has either been cancelled, shifted back or whatever. And then Jim Ryan stepped down where he's like, my work is done. I'm moving on. And it's like, well, you've broke everything, to be honest. Whereas Nintendo just stay the course. And you can argue that their communication is terrible. It is. But they deliver the systems. They work extremely well. They deliver first party. They know what the hell they're doing. They manage expectations and they manage the budgets. And they're able to execute on video games without losing hundreds of millions of dollars on a project that is an experiment that wasn't even going to work in the first place. So my hottest take, and it's probably not even that hot because, like I said, PlayStation and Xbox have only continued to fall down the hill, is that Nintendo are the only company that knows what they're doing. And the only path forward is to respect the levels of budgets and the way that they are running their business. We don't need $500 million 10-year in development games. We're probably okay with just some video games that maybe don't take someone like 5 years to put together. It would probably be that. Just like something either that or just the general idea that like I hate all of the reliance on. I mean, it's all the stuff me and Josh argue about. I hate all the reliance on graphics over gameplay, and like, oh, look how realistic this face is, and oh, the pupils dilate when the light is. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I know Josh does, but it's just that thing of, can we not just make some games? Can you make some video games? Because that's kind of why I'm here. I'll go and watch a movie if I want to look at someone's realistic eyes.
To use an old term,
Yes.
has Nintendo this year had one of the biggest face turns of the summer? Because obviously when the Switch 2 was first announced, and obviously they brought out some of the features, and so it sounds great, but there was so much money involved, and games were too expensive, and yada yada. There's a whole list of things you could have moaned at. But since it's come out, obviously it's been well received, right? Is it one of the best consoles or the best console of the generation? Is it?
I wouldn't say it's
the run.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a face turn because to me they face turned with the Switch like back in 2017. Like the heel run was the Wii U era, where they couldn't get anything to work on the Wii U, and then so many Wii U games then appeared on the Switch 2017 onwards. The Switch 2 I love as like I used to refer to the Switch as like the little machine that could, because it always felt like when The Witcher 3 arrived on Switch, it was like there's no way that thing runs. Oh God, it does. Okay. And with the Switch 2, it's like it's a natural continuation of that. And they have all the DLSS stuff, like the auto improvement, auto graphical scaling stuff, like resolutions, frame rates, whatever. Like I've just seen that WWE 2K25 apparently runs incredibly well on Switch 2. And like even as a sentence, I'm like, no, surely not, considering the absolute state that 2K18 was in. But then I watched a bunch of side-by-sides of Switch 2 and PS5, and the Switch 2 looks pretty damn good, if not better than the PS5 in certain places. And apparently it loads faster as well. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best console of the generation, because I think in that conversation, that best console of the generation conversation, you would need horsepower to be able to execute on the majority of what the industry can offer, and not every single thing is on the Switch. So that's like a different conversation, but I think it's one of the most capable machines ever made. And I think it's I love the hybrid functionality of it. Like it's my main system. And then I guess PS5 will be after that. But I do love the form factor of it. And I love the mix of first party Nintendo stuff. And then like all the indies and all this little, like the games that are on PC that then make their way to Switch. There is something very capable and immediate about using a Switch that I've loved since 2017.
I was going to say, because pound for pound, it may not have everything that you need right now, but you look at the PS5, right? There was a thing that Co-op 64 did, which was the list of is the generation a failure or not. But a lot of the games they listed as being like positives hadn't even come out yet.
Right. Okay.
The PS5 hasn't delivered either. And so at what point does the Switch's capability outweigh the PS5's possibility? Do you know what I mean?
I think I don't know how much that's just like a weird entrenched talking point. Like, oh, the generation's a failure. Like, in what way? Like, what are we comparing it to? Like the industry is bigger and wider than ever. Like in the last week, I played Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and the Shinobi Art of Vengeance demo, and they are both spectacular 2D side-scrolling video games with immaculate art design and perfect controls. Like most people probably aren't going to go looking for that. They're sitting and waiting for GTA 6 or whatever it is. And I think a lot of those conversations come from trying to do a direct comparison to what gaming felt like when you were a kid and when release cycles were just different. The industry was in a different place. The medium is so much bigger and wider, like I said, now than it was back then. There are thousands of more companies doing this thing. But you need to actually put the time in and find your niche. You wouldn't say that the music industry sucked. The entire industry is terrible. And then because you're putting the time into making your own playlists and curating your albums and artists, and you're getting stuck into it, people don't get, or like the average person doesn't get stuck into games in the same way. And then they complain that not enough stuff is being served up to them. Like I could sit here and complain that not enough music that I'm into is served up to me. But if I like type certain genres into a search bar on Spotify, I'll find a ton of artists that I then enjoy. To me, it's the exact same in gaming. And I find that a lot of the complaints that like, oh, the industry sucks, like, you know, it's so much worse. It's not. It's so much bigger and more expansive and rewarding, but it's a full medium now. It's done proving itself. It now exists alongside film and music and TV shows and everything. And you need to go looking for stuff. Like there are only like a handful of tentpole TV shows a year that get like the wider audience in. And it's the same thing in gaming. But if you go looking for stuff, you will find it.
I like it because I said before about the internet being endless. I think gaming is that medium that's caught up where it is endless. There is stuff out, especially where the indie scene is so strong. There's stuff where you can find literally anything now.
Yeah.
As long as you search in the right places and hard enough, you will find it. So that is kind of a weird talking point whereby, like, yeah, you could argue the mainstream's a little bit softer than it used to be, or lighter it used to be, but then that stuff is still there for you. You can get the same gameplay out of pick a random one, 2015 Mad Max, out of that than you could out of something new because you've not looked in the right place.